Last April, we had the experience of watching the Boston Marathon, and of course, a great tragedy happened at the end of that race. Our hearts were moved and were broken as the events unfolded. But I recall watching the race, and as the first explosion happened and one of the runners fell to the street, I thought to myself, are the other runners going to stop? Will the other people that are running in this race stop and help this person that has fallen? And of course, within a second, the next runner came right up and began to help this person who was wounded by the shrapnel that had been blown out into the street. In reflecting on that, I was just moved by a competitive athlete who had been preparing for God knows how long to run that race, to stop and give up all of that preparation time, all of that time in that race, to stop and help a fellow athlete. In this coming Sunday's Gospel, we hear of the early Jewish converts' questions in the Gospel of Matthew. They have questions, and Jesus is trying to answer them. Our ancestors were told that we shall not kill, but He's calling us to something more. He's calling us to not be angry with each other. He's calling us not to be angry with our neighbor. And it can be confusing. It was confusing to the people of His time, and I think it's still confusing to us today. We all struggle with sins that pull us away from the love of God. He wants us to understand that we, all of us, are called to something more. The sooner we can stop those thoughts from growing in our hearts, the sooner we will be able to live lives of complete love. Jesus calls us to live our ordinary lives in extraordinary ways. He doesn't want us to just be ordinary. We need to take time and care for those who have fallen down. We need to take time to help them to see that even what seems as something so small, a sin that seems like it really is insignificant, can grow into something that is so destructive. This week, I would like to challenge you. The next time you're trying to justify even the smallest sin in your life, whether it's anger or lust, to reflect on how you can truly grow in holiness and live your life as a faithful follower of Jesus Christ, to change your heart and to help others to change their hearts, to live in the love of Jesus Christ. I'd like you to know that Jesus is calling you to come and celebrate with Him in the Eucharist. His heart yearns for your presence. His heart calls you to grow in a relationship with Him. This week I want you to get real and come and join us for the real presence of Jesus in the Mass.